program, but I'm not doing it alone. I have my senior officer here and the person of Israel Lighting. So Israel, if you're here, shall we receive him? That wonderful gentleman. Where are you, Israel? Oh, put your hands together for him. He is so much adored.
Right, thank you very much, Delaine, for the kind words to introduce me. And yes, you're all welcome to this program. And as you can all see here, Core Mixture Reloaded, the medicine that works. So we know we've been invited to this program. Probably I can get Delaine to tell us a bit more about what this program is going to be about.
You see, this man thinks he's on television. And I'm not a politician. Thank you very much.
Do not give me political license.
Oh, really? Thank you. So this is the official relaunch of Core Mixture. And for those of you who have had an encounter with this product, I believe that you have a lot to share with us. We're going to be having presentations from the scientific community, as well as from the quality assurance and quality control department of the company. I believe that there is more to this.
I'm sure. Yes. There certainly will be more. But for this program, as you can see, there are very, very prominent people seated amongst us. I can see some really, really important people. And we're going to be telling you about some of the very important people who are here. That's not to suggest that some of you are very important. Everybody is important. All of us are important. Of course, like some people say, some of us are more important than that. That's not a wrong. I mean, that's a wrong word to use. I'm not interested in your skill. Okay. So let's see some of the people who are here.
Okay. So let me start with the management and board of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited here present. Can you show your hands so we can welcome you, the management and board of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. Thank you very much for coming.
I think it is at this point that we give them a round of applause.
Oh,
so a round of applause to the management and Core.
We have representations of the Ghana Medical Association. If you are here, representation from the Ghana Medical Association. Thank you very much. Put your hands in the back of you. We have the executives and members of the Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists. Okay. Let's see the Ghana members. Please rise. Rise. Your president is rising, so you have to. Thank you very much. We have representation from the Ghana Federation of Traditional Herbal Medicines Association, GATRA. The president is here, the general secretary is here. We have standing, let's see, GATRA members. Thank you very much for coming. We have the Traditional and Alternative Medicine Department under the Ministry of Health. The director, Dr. Anastasia Rechi, is here. Thank you very much for coming. We have representation also from the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Mampong. Are they here? Mampong. Mampong 1 and you. Thank you very much. We have the leadership of the Ghana Journalists Association here present. If you are here, Dr. Abel Moni and his team. Okay, they are there. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for them. The Private Newspapers Association of Ghana, PRIPAD, they are here. Let's see you. Thank you very much, the executive and the membership. All right, we will continue with the rest from here. On the front row, we have Nana Ofusuhene Apente Are. He is the first deputy CEO of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. And that's the beginning of Ogogo Traditional Area. Kasibra Kwebwe is the board chair of the Cook Area. Kasib Yamawaka. Princess Kukwada is the second deputy CEO for RMCL and the daughter of Professor Nanka. I would like to jump here and move on straight to the other side. We have in our midst Superintendent Kingsley Abrukwan. He is representing Dosage. Thank you very much for coming. God bless you. For the rest, for holding and come back to that.
All right, sure. So thank you very much, Delade. And so yes, there will be more introductions to be done. For now, though, we'll want to get on with the program and have the welcome address, and it's going to be by Antiviral who will see the board chairman of KOA. Let's give it a round of applause for him.
That's right. This is what I want to I want what's your name? Hey! Sorry, also I can hear the international journalist. Professor. You better wait here. Wait here. I'm going to make this. Also, I'm going to make this.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We, Aboa Manchi, representing Manchi, is going to be the chairman of the occasion. The founder and CEO of KOA, Professor Samuel African, and I'm in Sabos, as Salvador from Kumasi, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Minister for Health, members of the GMA, GAMH, CAFRA, board members, management, all staff of KOA, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the pledge. On behalf of board management of the KOA Research and Manufacturing Company, I welcome you all to the relaunch of KOA Mission and a medicine that has brought relief to many individuals and families over the years. It is heartwarming to see distinguished personalities in the area of science and research gathering here this morning. This is the testament to the fact that KOA Asia has indeed touched many lives. Chairman, relaunch of KOA Asia has been associated by few developments in recent times. Much as the board and the management have been up to the task in living up to the expectation of clients, we also see it as a duty to bring medical practitioners and influential personalities like you together to enable you appreciate the investment made as far as research and with respect to KOA is concerned. We shall soon be listening to various presentations from our experts, both in Ghana and South Africa, regarding their research on this wonderful product. The Qua RMCL is committed to the growth and development of plant medicine. During the course of this program, we shall demonstrate that commitment. Once again, a welcome to all to this August event, and may God richly bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's great. So up next, we're going to have the introduction of the chairperson, and it's going to be done by Concourse. Yeah. So here we have Concourse. A round of applause for it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm deeply honored to be introducing the chairman for this August occasion. So, our chairman in private life is known as Mr. Samuel William Lee Akwashini. He is the second son of the late Mr. Agent Lee of the then Special Branch of the Ghana Police Service, and Madame Gladys Taiwan Hammond, a businesswoman who got hail from Abola Pasashi royal family. He started his primary school education at St. Anthony's Preparatory School and proceeded to Isabel College and Accra Academy for his O-level certificate and sixth form respectively. He then furthered his studies at Impa as well. Our chairman worked with the Ghana District Assembly for a while before traveling to the USA, where he enrolled in the Wayne County Community College to study criminal justice. Afterwards, he worked with DFX Limited and Chrysler, all in Detroit, and also worked with Toyota Company in San Antonio. He later established his own cleaning company, known as Akrashi Cleaning Services in the USA. Currently, he is a government appointee with the AMA. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our honorable chairman is none other than me and the chair. Please let's give him a round of applause.
Good morning. I would like to stand on the existing protocol of the chairmanship, the board chairmanship, to say, you all welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say a little bit story about this. All protocol was there. It was a Nigerian man with all credentials. Talking about a doctor, a lawyer, whatnot. And the MC who was trying to introduce him left some of the credentials. So when he looked at him, he said, "No, you've left something." And the MC said, "All protocol observed." That's it. First of all, I would like to apologize on behalf of His Royal Majesty King Kakite Kuchu II, who is the President of the Ghana National Council, who is supposed to chair this reported occasion, but due to one of the drumming and noise making, as well as the purification of the Ghana state, cannot do so, hence my presence. I'm honored and privileged to chair this occasion, with every occasion, there is someone to say the affairs of the occasion. I hope we all get to enjoy this free lunch. Take a meaningful meaning about our tribal or traditional medicine. We've been using this for mixture. That's my whole family. And I think it's a good product. So we all learn something about the real lunch today and enjoy and take home with something important as we are here with all the physicians around. On this note, I wholly accept the chairmanship. Thank you.
We're going on with the rest of the program. At this point, we're going to be having a number of presentations. I'm sure you know, those of you gathered here, you know about the qualities of the drug that we're talking about, the herb mixture that we're talking about. But we're going to take you through a series of presentations which will get you to appreciate, a whole lot more what this is about. So, Melanie, you tell. One of the first presentations we have is by Dr. Kofi. So,
thank you very much, Celia. Before we enter into the presentations, we want to have a quick one. And we have in our midst the Deputy Health Minister. He is standing in for the Minister of Health. And because of his numerous engagements, he would want to bless us with a message from the Minister, and then he will lead us. And so let's put our hands together as we invite Honorable Alhaji Muhammad Asensei to speak to us.
Once again, Assalamu alaikum. Nana Chairperson, Professor Sama Ujutankan, Minister of State, if you are here, Nana, distinguished veterans, the media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for inviting me to this occasion. These are my first in terms of Christian medicine. And on behalf of my university, my minister, and my own behalf, I want to give my message. Actually, my minister is at the Liban now for the World Health Summit. Here, Africa, Mr. Kama, is home to all to a wide variety of medical plants. Let's agree that almost every health from Africa has some medical properties, and Ghana is no exception. Herbal-based treatments have been part of the continent's traditional medical practice for thousands of years. A great percentage of our rural population rely on plant medicine for the treatment of their disease. And the country is new and for the traditional one. And undeniably, plant medicines are beneficial in treating diseases or maintaining good health. Some have even been the source of prescription medicines. Nana Chairman, the world has been poor and so much we must. Once upon a time, the advanced medicine that are found in our hospitals and pharmacies today started in a very crude money. However, with research and the adaptation of technology and good manufacturing processes, they went on to become globally acceptable brands. These manufacturers saw the future and they worked towards it. They see the opportunities, they stumbled but rose up and corrected their mistakes. We can do the same here in Ghana. I do not think it is too late. Professor has demonstrated it. China has shown that plant medicine can work in a lot of revenue to the states. According to statistics, China runs in over $1.2 billion annually from traditional Chinese medicine through exports. China also boasts of 700 traditional medicine research institutions. It is estimated that Chinese traditional medicine covers a planting area of 66 million acres. This is why China is a leader in traditional medicine. Another Chairman, we are fortunate that in applying the technology and DMS required to produce quality medicines, we do not have to spend so much resources on developing new inventions. Others have gone ahead of us, and we can pick up very useful lessons from their success and failures. This is where I challenge all our engineers and scientists to raise out to challenge. Ghana Chairman, while at it, we must all approach companies like the World Research Manufacturing Company for their pivotal role in enhancing plant medicine towards global acceptance or acceptability. I have fully keened the growth of this company over the years. The commitment of Professor Atutanku to promoting plant medicine is well rated by all. He has demonstrated his commitment in many forms, including providing support to Gantram and KMD and other institutions in the plant medicine sector. He has also worked closely with the Dosage Memorial Institute for Medical Research, Center for Plant Medicine Research, Hong Kong, Full Research Institute, among others, to undertake research relative to coagulation. Nana Chairman, we are all witnessing to the excellent reviews regarding the use of coagulation. I believe this research contributed in no small way to the success stories we are hearing today. I therefore commend the various research institutions and individuals who are supported this worthy cause. Chairman, this is the time for institutional collaboration towards enhancing plant medicine for global acceptability. The manufacturers must work closely with our scientists, engineers, pharmacists, and the various regulators. This is how we can survive the global competitiveness in the pharmaceutical sector. Who has demonstrated it is possible. I therefore wish to see this opportunity to challenge all other herbal producers to channel part of their resources into research. If over the it and it is paying off to you, you can also do the same. This is the time to make some sacrifices. Remember, it will pay off in the end. The government is committed to creating an enabling environment for plant medicine can compete closely with orthodox medicine. I thereby contributing to government's vision of universal health coverage and a healthy population, which makes it possible and eventually to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030. That is achieving health for all at all ages. It is based on this excellence. Nana Ado Akufo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, tasked and ordered the Technical Oversight Committee of the Ghana AIDS Commission to conduct a scientific independent evaluation on all products and respond to an appeal for the Chief Executive Officer of GOA RMCL for the government to support stages of their program, GOA Mixer, GOA FSM, and now GOA Mixer and GOA 72, which are linked to be a potential care for HIV. The committee had membership of the Division from Food and Drug Board, Authority, Ghana Standard Authority, the Regulator of Traditional and Alternative Medicine of the Ministry of Health, Center for Plant Medicine Research, School of Political Sciences, University of Ghana, Norwegian Memorial Institute of Medical Research, Traditional Medicine Practice Council, Ghana AIDS Commission, and World Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. This is a promise of researchers. Since September 2019, this committee met 4 times to review and analyze documents and digital materials submitted by GOA airlines and its products. These data and studies were extensively deliberated upon, considering the local context and global practices in the government practice by members of the committee. The committee has completed its tasks and duly submitted the report to the chairman. To this end, the process to incorporate herbal medicine into mainstream health delivery in our various facilities has been implemented. Now, patients are up for herbal medicine care when we visit our various hospitals. Also, selected herbal medicines have been included in the essential medicine list by the Ministry of Health. I'm aware engagements are going on at the various levels with stakeholders in order to ensure the successful implementation of this policy, which began in 1980. One mission is part of the medicine that has been selected. This means that all mission can now be prescribed in the various health facilities across the country. Now, Ghana cannot do without herbal medicine. The Ministry of Health is counting on companies like yours to help promote the well-being of our people. Do not rest when you're off, and Ghana becomes your ultimate choice of plant medicine in Africa. Nana, before I conclude, permit me to draw your attention to something that happened in our hometown. Now, because we didn't have Professor Anka in our midst, we've lost it. My grandfather was the chief of the Waspe traditional area, the Wada, in the Savannah region. I think it's not be palatable for women. He had 120 wives. How did he do it? And I want to tell you, some of the women entered the school 3 times in their married life. And they want 3 children. They are married. Are you here? I think I want to send it more. He has some medicinal plants. The powerful ones works for what we call fibroids. We have fertility for both medicinal herbs for both women and men. And we have what we call manpower. And no woman, at least the list was 1 copy. What was the medicine here? If you have fibroid, you can't take it. Then they will say, oh, that woman gave birth to sleep. The woman gave birth to football. But those footballs, we don't see them to play. Not even the one who take the medicine, they have the fibroids and clean the wound from the fire. The fertility drug, you just put a lesson, fish or meat, and you be taking. And then when you go in, you carry it out, you out. And how about the men? The body said that we don't have big men, no. So, or this and then the woman say, I'm tired. You want to have me tired. So, Professor Duncan, I'm ashamed because I can't even see the roots, not prepared for us. And so we are going to go to one thing to another work. The police need to another work. The young men are in trouble. Going around trying to impress us. So thank you very much, Professor. I conclude by saying that I will try and go back to my village. I'm the MP for that place. And try and gather those who are sitting there. Show us the roots. So that I can bring professors to come and blend them. And then we will go and be making money. So that people will not be like business. No, ours is Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the impressive choice. Another round of applause for him. And I think we can do another one for the transplant. 200 children and 120. It sounds like virtually everybody would want to find out where the hometown is, and then you can go there too. Right, a quick introduction. We have amongst us the Traditional Medicine Practice Council. The members are represented here. And let's acknowledge you. Please stand up. Let's see you and acknowledge you. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And then we also have our keynote speaker. He's actually in our midst. He's in the person of Honorable Alan Chairman, the Minister. Okay, so this is where we get into the presentations. The presentations we're going to have, that's going to tell you a whole lot more about Koa Mixture Reloaded. And the first presentation is going to be by Dr. Kofi Donko. Let's give him a warm round of applause. In fact, a really, really good one as he makes his way today. Let's sustain it. Let's sustain it. Let's sustain it. As he makes his way. So, in a series of presentations started by him, we're going to get to understand what Koa or what makes Koa Mixture Reloaded so special. Thank you very much. Right, so Dr. Kofi Donko He's a research scientist at the Center for Plant Medicine Research, Mampong. You got him. Can we get his microphone activated for him? You would want to use the lapel. Is it activated?
The control room, please can we have the presentation? Thank you very much. Nana Chairperson, Honorable Ministers of State, Prof. Duncan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My presentation is on chronic toxicity studies on COA research. And this study was done at my office at the Center for Plant Medicine Research in the Pharmacology and Toxicology Department. Please, shall we go and start? Just briefly to try and introduce. Apart from recordings in the Bible, herbal medicine or natural medicine has been with us for a very long time. In fact, the Egyptians and Chinese have record of use of herbal medicine in as far back as 3,000 years before Christ. The interesting thing when it comes to natural products or herbal medicine is that throughout the world, a particular plant, irrespective of where it grows, what medicinal activity that it has, wherever you find it, you are likely to find that activity. So let's say if the lettuce is in Ghana, it's for malaria. If it's able to grow in China, it's likely to have the same activity. Now, briefly, let me try and take us through the evolution of medicine or drugs in general. Now, 2,000 years before Christ, assuming you go to the doctor and you complain of pain, let's say typically an earache, and you tell the doctor I have an earache, 2,000 years before Christ, he's likely to tell you, here, take this fruit. If we come down 3,000 years after that, which is 1,000 years after Christ, if you go to a doctor with the same complaint, he's likely to tell you, here, say a prayer. Now, this is a time where superstition was very rife, and we pray for all our ailments. 800 years down the line, if you go to the doctor with the same complaint, he's likely to tell you, yeah, take a portion, and telling you that your prayer that you were having previously is superstitious. Now, this was the beginning of our journey. So then we began putting together some portions or preparations as that. 40 years down the line, if we come to around the 1940s, with the same complaint, we tell you that portion is poison. Here, take a pill. Now we have developed medicine further. So we have proper drugs. So pills will give you. Down the line, 10 years after that, in 1955, when we stumbled on antibiotics, and antibiotics became the wonder product of our lives, and everything is cured with antibiotics. The doctor will tell you, no, the pill is not effective. Here, have an antibiotic. And then, if we come to the 2000s, where we are now, he's likely to tell you, the antibiotic is artificial. Here, take this route. See where we started from. No, let's stay here. See where we started from. 2,000 years before Christ, Dr. will give you it. Today, after going around and doing all the gymnastics, we have noticed that what we need is root. Let's do it. Now, to tell you about the value of medicinal plants, the Honorable Deputy Minister of Health tried to make some references. From the records in the year 2017, and I believe this will be important to our special guest speaker, the Honorable Minister of Trade. In 2017, the global market value for botanical and plant-derived drugs was almost $30 billion. It was estimated to go up to almost $40 billion by the end of this year. In 2016, we estimate that almost $200 billion was realized from nutraceuticals. And the estimation is that by the end of last year, it will go up to $285 billion. The WHO projects that by 2050, the global market value annually for natural products or herbal products will be $5 trillion. Now pause a moment and think about $5 trillion. And if Ghana will be able to contribute just 1% of that, just 1% of that. And let me say that having worked at the center for close to 20 years, one of the things that I can tell you confidently is that virtually every Ghanaian plant you see has some medicinal value. Ghana is one of the countries with the most diverse medicinal plants in this world. So if we want to work at it, we can easily do that 1% I'm talking about. So let's come back to what effects, and let me actually bring it home what really we did on what effect. So I said from the beginning, our study was on the chronic toxicity studies of what effect. What did we do? We took the product, Poa mixture, and then we freeze dried it. Poa mixture is a liquid product. So we have a piece of equipment in our lab that can dry all the liquid, and we have the solid residue that is there. So that's what we did. And after drying, we reconstituted the dried residue in water. And then we administered this to laboratory animals at a dose of 0.28 milligram per kilogram body weight. Now, 0.28 milligram per kilogram body weight is the therapeutic dose. And then we also administered 2.8 milligram per kilogram body weight, which is 10 times the therapeutic dose. And we also gave 5.6 milligram per kilogram body weight, which is 20 times the therapeutic dose. Now, we administered these to groups of rats on a daily basis for 6 months. Now, during that period, we did a number of things. We weighed animals on a weekly basis. We took urine samples on a weekly basis where we analyzed the urine samples. On the start of the work, 3 months and 6 months, we took blood samples. And from the blood samples, we did whole blood assay, where we look at the hematological indices. We prepared serum out of the blood sample and we analyzed for biochemical indices. At the end of the 6th month, we also sacrificed the animals. We took their internal organs, and then we did a historical analysis. And then we also did some drug comparative studies at the end of the 6th month. So basically, this is what we did in terms of studies. Now, this is what we found out. So this data is for at the end of the 6th month. Like I said, we have data for the beginning of the work, 3rd month, 6th month. This data we see here is the percentage body weight. So we are giving this animal this information for 6 months. We want to study and see what effect the drug is having on the body weight. We noticed that for the therapeutic dose, there wasn't any significant difference between the control, which is the first line, the first dark line, and then the yellow. But for the 20 times the therapeutic dose, we noticed that after the 3rd month, the drug reduced the body weight of the laboratory animals significantly. But not so for the therapeutic dose and then the 20 times the therapeutic dose. This is wet organ weight when we compare it to the whole body weight of the animals. Now, this is significant because when you have problems with your organ, it's likely to enlarge. And when it enlarges, the weight of your organ compared to the body weight will reduce. And then, or one way is it can shrink where the weight of the organ compared to the body weight will go up. So this data is for 6 months. Now the data for 3 months is not different from this. So data for 6 months, when you look at the controls, which is the first one, and you compare to the therapeutic dose, the 10 times the therapeutic dose, and the 20 times the therapeutic dose, there are no significant difference between the controls and all the 3 different dose levels that we did. This means that the product or the foreign mixture did not affect the organs of these animals. So it did not enlarge or it did not shrink inside. Now this is serum biochemical analysis, and this is also called the 6th month. And again, this data is not different from the 3rd month. So we have data for the 3rd month. This is also data for the 6th month. Again, here we notice that for the biochemical indices, and these are again indices of organ specific damages. If you have damage to your organs, these biochemical indices will go up. And again, for all the 3 dose levels that we have listed, there are no difference between the controls and the tests. This is the whole blood assay analysis, the hematological indices. So this is where we have interesting results. For the white blood cells, we notice that, so we have this is data for the 6th month. Now, data for the 3rd month, the drug did not have any effect on the blood parameters for the 3 months. But this is data for the 6th month. If you look at the first index, which is white blood cells, we notice that the drug reduced the white blood cells in a dose-dependent manner. Okay, so you see the control is 12.1, the therapeutic dose is 11.3, The 10 times the therapeutic dose is 10.3, and then the 20 times came down to 9.1. So the white cells reduce in the dose-dependent manner. Now you see this reduction only after 3 months. In the first 3 months, there was no reduction. This, of course, will reflect when you look at the white cell differentiation. So in lymphocyte count, which is the large but one index, we also see a dose-dependent reduction in the white cell count. Of course, you also expect that this will result in some effect in the mean cell volume. So the mean cell volume at the 20 times the therapeutic dose also increase. Now, what this means is that after 3 months, the drug at the higher doses, that is the 10 times the therapeutic dose and the 20 times the therapeutic dose, affected homeostasis, that is blood cell production. Now, if I didn't see this, I would have been worried. I would have been worried if I didn't see it. Because it is claimed that this product is for the treatment of HIV/AIDS. We know that AIDS drugs are very toxic in nature. And so if you say you have a preparation for AIDS, and I run all these assays, and everything is so beautiful, it doesn't look like the normal AIDS drug that I see in the lab, and I'll be worried. But the good thing is, at the therapeutic dose, you don't have any effect. Okay, so this to a long extent to say, actually I was running this for a typical HIV drug, the therapeutic dose, I wouldn't see a full picture like this. I'll see some toxicity. Let's. Okay, so this is the last set of data I'm going to show you. So we looked at internal organs. So we look at kidney, we look at the liver, we look at spleen, we look at the heart. So I'm showing you the data for kidney. Now, specifically showing you the data for kidney because of this general notion we have that herbal preparations cause kidney damage. So these are laboratory animals that we give one mixture on a daily basis for 6 months continuously, daily basis for 6 months. And this is the result. I wish I had done that. If you analyze this FDA, I think you will see that for these are people kidney. The A is for control, B is for the therapeutic dose, C is 10 times the therapeutic dose, and D is 20 times the therapeutic dose. Now, if you look at this carefully, especially with the train time, you will notice that all your renal tubules are intact. If you compare your control to the text, all your renal tubules are intact. You don't have them. All your renal tubules are intact. Your pulmonary capsules also are intact, and your glomerulus are intact. When you compare your control to your test subject. So basically, morphologically, the drug did not have any harmful effect on the kidney. Like I said, we've done this analysis for other internal organs, kidney, liver, heart, and lungs. And the data is the same for all. So in conclusion, I'll say that if you give poor effects at the therapeutic dose, that's the prescribed dose upon prolonged administration, it will not have any deleterious effect in laboratory animals, specifically in rats. So we can extrapolate that in humans it may be safe, or in humans it may not have deleterious effects, because in laboratory animals we see the data better it does not have any deleterious effects. Now, earlier in my introduction, I was talking about the market value of herbal medicine. And I think that we can actually use herbal medicine as a tool to promote this country economically. Let's ask ourselves, let's ask ourselves, what is our debt burden? That's one of the things that we are all about. Why is Israel? What's our debt? Ghana's total debt today. Somewhere people down was talking about 351 billion cedis. The monetary policy just finished. I think they are talking about 390 something billion cedis. That's our debt burden as a nation. Now, if you divide that say you take it in the upper limit, and you divide it by the dollar rate today, around 7.5, 7.6, or 7.8. Someone should do the math for us. Take 390 billion cedis, and then divide it by 7.8. 390 divided by 7.8. What do we need? 390 divided by 7. We are trying to convert our debt to dollars. Get around what? 50. Then 50. So this is really high. So our debt stock now, since the days of Nkrumah to today, it's about $50 billion. I said at the beginning that it is projected that by 2050, the global annual value for herbal products will be $5 trillion. So let's do 1% of that. Okay, 1% of $5 trillion. So 5 trillion times 0.01. You come back to the 50, right? You come back to the same 50, right? Those win the math. Yes. So you see, actually, just herbal medicine alone, if we work hard at it, and we get just a little fragment of the global value, say just 1%, it can wipe out our entire national debt. So see, when I went at one point, and I have a lot of people coming to me. I'm head of research and innovation, and they tell me, you are sitting on gold. And I say, yes, sir, I know I'm sitting, I know we are sitting on gold. This is why we are sitting on gold. That if we get just 1% of global value of herbal medicine, even just 1 year, our targets from Nkrumah to today, that's why. So we are a very rich nation. We are a very rich nation. So we can all work to support herbal medicine to make us grow the region. Let me end by saying that something that Victor Hugo said. He is a French poet and novelist. He said, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. I started by showing you 2,000 years before Christ, where you see herbal medicine. We went round. Today, 2000. It is time for herbal medicine again. This is an idea that will not fail if we support and if we all work towards it. We will break through as a nation. Thank you very much. I would want to thank our colleagues in the oncology department and our technicians in the oncology department who helped to put this work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. for the insightful presentation. And Deladen, from what Dr. Kofi Donko was saying, it sounds to me like if we actually take herbal medicine really seriously, we will get so much money, we probably would not need 11. Is that what I think?
Okay.
That's just by the way. Okay, so we're going on. We have a very important presentation. And the presentation, if you look at the designation, you see founder and CEO of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. But there's a whole lot more to Professor Samuel Atutanka. So tell me, this one is just one of them. Give me the rundown.
Thank you very much. This one keeps interviewing me. And Professor Samuel Atutanka is the founder of the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission, an organization that seeks to promote peace globally. And if you recall, a couple of weeks ago, we launched a 5-year strategic plan, which is going to reach out to the rest of the world. Besides that, it's also the CEO, as you rightly said, and founder of the Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited, the founder and the brain behind Core Mixture. He's also the founder of Core Medical and Diagnostic Clinics here in Ghana.
At this rate, if we're going to give you the opportunity to do the introduction, we'll never leave you. Let's just bring Prof.
Thank you very much. Professor Samuel Atutanka, aka Nana Abadie.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The lecturer of Government. The last lecture goes to representing the 2472. Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan Shamati, Deputy Health Minister, the General Secretary of Doctrine, Board Chairman Gaspar Kuburusi, Head of Department, Herbal Medicine, University, Professor Isaac Alisu, President of the Association of Medical Herbalists, Representative of Director General Services, for Services Ghana Police Service, Vice Dean School of Pharmacy, Dr. Robert Itabaide, President of Trump, Secretary Dr. Nana Oki, Director of Traditional Alternative Medicine Directories, Center for Plant Medicine Research. I think I was expecting the director is here at the moment. And let me see. Oh, you are welcome. I don't know you. That I perceived when you researcher at the University of Arizona Natal University, Professor Madugu Igoto, researcher at the University of Limpopo, South Africa. Let me see. The media, ladies and gentlemen, in all protocol duly present. I had to come in to give my speech before the other presentations, as I want to speak before Minister Brooks. Because Minister will give the keynote address, and he has to listen to some presentations before he goes. But I must actually welcome him as the founder of COA, and also to tell him what we have for him and the government of Ghana. So I have to jump and come and do this moment. Then I think after that the presentation is to follow. Now, Chairman, Government Chair, I think my beautiful daughter, the first deputy CEO of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited, the second deputy CEO and the third deputy is also here. All the staff duly acknowledged. Nana Government, special guest of honor, His Royal Majesty Otufo Osetutu. He was supposed to come, and he told me that he would let Nana Mesa Bosu come and represent him. So Otufo is right with us. So let's give a round of applause for Minister of Health, Minister of Trade and Industry, Governor, Presidents, fellow colleagues, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you once again to this important and memorable occasion. I bring you salutation from the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission and Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited. Now, Chairman, it will interest you to note that the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission is an institution that seeks to address issues confronting peace globally. It was established in 1988 and registered as an NGO in the year 2000. We identify diseases that have no cure as one of the major threats to global peace, hence the establishment of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited to research and develop natural products to help treat some of the diseases that the world is finding difficult to treat, as well as improve the use of plant medicine in Ghana, Africa, and the world at large. Now, Chairman, our health globally has to be given critical and serious attention since it's one of the major areas that affect global peace. Once you are sick, your peace is affected. Diseases are killing people more than wars. Even though death is inevitable, some deaths are untimely. During the outbreak of Ebola, 28,660 cases were recorded, out of which 11,310 died in Guinea, Liberia, and Syria. We were there, we were in Sierra Leone back then, and we were able to save some of the lives of people who actually contracted the virus. We were able to treat some. About 100 people were treated without medication. But let me give you some serious correction. It is not cure for HIV, neither cure for antiviral disease. this is actually, it was prepared for a general well-being. And actually, approximately 6.3 million people have died untimely from COVID-19 as of 21st May 2022. And 6.3 million of lives have been taken untimely by the COVID-19. And this should tell you that looking for work is, you should also look for medication to treat some of these diseases that the world is finding very difficult to treat. The World Health Organization estimates that 296 million people were living with chronic hepatitis B infection in 2019, with 1.5 million new infections each year. In 2019 alone, 820,000 people died of hepatitis B infection. In the year 2000, an estimated 19.3 million new cancer cases and over 10 million cancer deaths were recorded. I therefore strongly believe that research in finding remedies to illness should be encouraged and heavily supported. Now, Chairman, one research that has brought all of us here today is a well-researched plant medicine that is scientifically developed and approved by FDA as a medicine for your general well-being. This is what we want to stress. It's a medicine for your general well-being. I think the minister spoke of the oversight committee set by the government to do some kind of evaluation into finding cure for HIV. But that involves a lot of medication, the 72, the Mr. We have the intravenous, muscular, and oral administration for treatment of HIV/AIDS. And that research has not been concluded. So we don't have any cure for HIV at the moment on the market. What we have on the market is for your general well-being, and that is why we are here. So I don't want anybody to misquote me or misquote any presenter that we are saying that the poor minister is for cure for HIV. Maybe it could be, but today it is not. It is for your general well-being. The poor minister is so powerful that it preserves itself and has unique phytochemicals that can support your immune system for healthy living. So here we are talking about the healthy living. And other scientists will talk about what the poor minister can do. World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So medicine for your general well-being is, like poor, is what everybody needs for his or her general well-being. Whether you are sick or not, you need Quadristan for good health. Quadristan is one of the best medicines the world has ever produced because of the numerous evidence-based testimonies from its users. This is a very interesting fact. The hint I'm giving to the Minister of Trade and Industry, to Nanano, and to all of you here is that one research and manufacturing company that is close to a research breakthrough. When successful, Ghana starts to realize not less than $32 billion annually from this plant medicine. This will bring economic relief to Ghana and also get treatment for some diseases the world is struggling to treat. But that medicine is not complete. We are close to the breakthrough. One research, and that is why I have to go with them. So there's a gap between the plant medicine producers, the plant medicine prescribers, and the medical orthodox medicine prescribers. The God is going to be doing today. Medicines are for treatment, but the medical herbalists or many orthodox medical practitioners, they don't manufacture medicines. They prescribe. So if there is no proper scientific data or parameters guiding the use of the product, prescribing that medicine is very difficult. And that is why orthodox practitioners are not prepared to prescribe traditional medicines. But today, I'm telling you that this is why we are here. We want to bring it out because some herbal products, like Qualita, have been scientifically developed with proper parameters, scientific parameters, and data to support the use of the product. So every medical doctor can prescribe Qua medicine without any problem. So I think the GMA president PKMA is presented, and I think you have to tell your colleagues that we are coming to all your hospitals and you have to prescribe plant medicines. But you have data to support what you produce, and because of that, you will get the result, and you help us also to collect data for further development of the product. Now, actually, this initiative, which started from 2005, has never received any financial support from any institution, both inside and outside Ghana. We are therefore calling government of Ghana, Minister of Trade and Industry, you are here, so I don't, you are there. Since you are here, if I want to talk to God, I will talk to Jesus. So I'm talking to Jesus today. That we can realize $32 billion annually. And I will definitely demonstrate it to you when you give us the opportunity to go there. And I can realize $32 billion every year. So let us take this very serious. We have the plants around us, and we can make very good use of them to go to Ghana. Since we want to rely on made in Ghana products, then let us patronize what we produce here. And that is why we are adding value, we are not adding research, we are adding science, so that they can compete internationally. Because Qua is everywhere in the world that people are taking in their no serious, they are not even gotten any serious side effects. So let's see what we can make out of this. We are therefore calling on the government of Ghana and research institutions in and out the country, as well as investors to join hands with us to carry this vision to reality. And so far, we are collaborating with here University of Johannesburg, I think UCC, CCTU, and other researchers. I think other researchers are also from South Africa, they are also collaborating with us. And we believe that at the end of the day, we are going to make something from what we are doing, and it will benefit the mother Ghana. Now, actually, we have acquired 1,000 acres of land in Ashanti region to cultivate raw materials. And we are going to need another 9,000 acres of land for cultivation to produce crop products to meet the international plan. I think Nana Mensa is here, and you can attest to that fact that for now, Ashanti is giving us 1,000 acres. shows how serious the Ashanti region is also towards the development of herbal medicines. Nana, is it true or false? It's true. Oh, listen to Nana. Listen to Nana.
It's very true.
Because of sustainable eating, 1,000 acres have been acquired so far and going to. Because we want to realize that $32 billion every year for that. That is why now we need about 10,000, 9,000 to add up to the 1,000 we already have. And we move into serious business. And actually, my research and development, known in other countries as research and technological development, is when businesses gather knowledge to create new products and discover new ways of improving their existing products and services. This is why I introduce researchers and research institutions to collaborate with plant medicine manufacturers to improve the quality of herbal medicines and develop new plant-based medicines for socio-economic development of Ghana. Researchers have to stand up. This is a time to fight for Mother Ghana. And we have all it takes to help us do that. So let us collaborate. I therefore donate 100,000 Ghana cedis to capture to support members. To support members who are potential medicines that do not have sufficient funds to go through the process of evaluation and registration. This will reduce herbal preparations in circulation without FDA approval and also improve the image of herbal medicines in Ghana as well as improve the use of plant medicines in and outside Ghana. The reason thing is people undermining the herbal medicine industry too much. And it's only because some of the herbalists just take medicines, put them into bottles and start circulating. This can do ABC and the doctor will tell you, you took this medication and you're suffering from this. Because there are no scientific data regarding the use of the drug. And it affects those who are manufacturing drugs, the herbal medicine, through the proper ways, through proper valuation, research, and development. So this is the way. For now, anybody who is caught selling any product that has not been scientifically evaluated or evaluated and approved by FDA. When FDA approves, nobody can condemn it. So any doctor who condemns any herbal medicine will be in trouble. Once FDA has approved it, it means that you are supposed to prescribe. Yeah, you pay. If you want, you prescribe, but you cannot condemn. But those we all will condemn are medicines that do not have any scientific data or approval from FDA. And they are the people I'm going to support today to start. Let me see this opportunity to officially appoint. This one is coming as a surprise. But now this one is direct to you. I'm seeing this opportunity to appoint a special guest, royal guest of honor. To the second, that's a beginning of our second kingdom, to be, and then with all respect, to be the patron of Prime Minister because of his support. And I like this one, you are going to accept it. But I know how we have dealt with you and the people, the way forward of plant medicine. We need people who support innovations. We need people to push innovations to a successful end. And this, Nana, His Majesty, Otufo Osmetutu is the one I know very well that if he's behind the poor minister, as a patron, poor minister will go far and far because of so far his support. So today we put this name on your neck, and we believe that you are going to be behind the poor minister and going to be the patron of poor minister to make sure that we get to where we have to get to. On this day, I invite everyone here to take poor minister. I also request that Ghanaians at home and everywhere across the globe should start taking poor minister for their general well-being. Ghana Chairman, today is African Union Day, and the team is strengthening resilience in nutrition and food security of the African continent, strengthening agro-food system, health and social protection of human, social and economic capital development. Seriously, we wouldn't have gotten any better day than today to celebrate national products. Therefore, we all need a core list. Today is a special day for all the core list. I'd like to take the last opportunity also to tell anonymous clients, agents, distributors. There are some people who are also taking advantage of a hard-won reputation. The poor is so popular, it infested so much the poor, and people just take advantage because poor looks like water. Anybody can prepare anything close to it. I come and tell you that they are working with poor, they are working with poor, and they are also producing same and even working better. Nobody knows the formula of poor. The poor mixture has a unique formula that is known by me myself. Don't think anybody, people go to, that's also what the reason why we are. People go to pharmacy shops, agents, call them and tell them that, oh, we're working with poor, and I have decided to do mine. I'm telling you, it's not possible. And I don't want to do my best. Because I don't want anybody to be taking any fake products in the name of poor. Products we produce, I don't have no, I don't have any interest in them. But when anybody says, was working with me and has produced the same thing cannot be produced by anybody. I know the formula, and the formula is famous. So take very good note of that, and let's see how we can protect the poor mission, protect our lives, and protect our planet. Thank you very much.
Gastra. 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 Hey, one second there. Nana Okoji and Bidro. Nana Dufu. And then you have Madame Musi.
All right, so thank you very much. I think there were a number of significant things that were said, one of them being the donation that was announced. All right, so it's just so well that your check is ready.
That's right. Exactly. That's right. So drop poor ICL is donating an amount of 100,000 Ghana cedis in support of the activities of GAPTRAM, especially in the area of research. The donation is going to support individual herbalists whose products are yet to be certified by the regulatory authorities. Take note. That is the General Secretary Nana Kojo Obri, Abuja Bidro, flanked by Gasibra Bebo, MC, the board chair. So this is what is happening today. Thank you very much. Professor says this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Greater things are yet to come. Bro.
All right, thank you very much, Donald. And whilst Prof was speaking, we had messages that he wanted to send to God, and he sent us the messages. There was one that was supposed to go to Asante and has been delivered. There's one that's supposed to go to the government. And then our keynote speaker, who for this afternoon, I'm going to say he's the Jesus to deliver the message to the government, is ready to give us his keynote address. Let's give him a round of applause.
Please, you can do better.
Madam Chairman, the representative of Utufo Satini, Nana Mensa Bosu, the representative of the Ghana Chair, Nana Chair of the Board of Kwa Research and Manufacturing Company, our brother, Professor Samuel Abdul Duncan, and the leadership of Kwa Research and Manufacturing Company, representatives from the scientific community in Ghana, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. You would agree with me that with the very extensive presentation made by my colleague, the Deputy Minister for Health, as well as the remarks by Professor, and also the very brilliant presentation by our friend from the Plant Medicine Center in Ecuador. I'm not sure that you need any address. I'm not sure you need any address, so I'll make some very brief remarks. First, I'd like to commend Professor and his team for the work that they are doing to support the development of our country. My ministry is pleased to be associated with what Professor is doing for 5 reasons. First, it is one of the strategic anchor sectors that Ghana is developing to diversify our economy from cocoa and gold. The manufacturing of pharmaceuticals is one of the new strategic sectors that Ghana is developing. Because for our country to depend for over 100 years on only 2 commodities clearly should tell us that this is not sustainable going forward. So we need to diversify our economy. And that is why recently you've been hearing about the development of the automobile and vehicle assembly plant. The pharmaceutical manufacturing industry is one of these new strategic anchor industries. And what Professor is doing is at the center of this new strategic industry that we develop. And that's why government is doing. We are also interested because what he's doing and the development of plant medicine in general will help create jobs. We all know that one of the most difficult challenges confronting us as a country is unemployment. What Professor is doing and what other manufacturing companies in
the plant medicine space are doing will not just create jobs, but will create high quality skilled jobs. So we are talking about enhancing science, mathematics, engineering and technology, STEM education. We are talking about technical vocational education. Where are we going to employ these new graduates who are going to come out of these schools? It is only through the effort of Professor and other companies that are going to the manufacturing industry that will open up job opportunities. All these people are coming out of our scientific institutions. So government is interested in that. Thirdly, if you listen to the scientific presentation and what Prof said, it is also contributing to research and development. We know that globally, the WHO estimates that about 80% of the global population depend on plant medicine. See here in Ghana, when you talk about herbal medicine, people give us different connotations to it. If you call it plant medicine, globally, it raises the bar. But it's just a question of nomenclature. A question of nomenclature. There are professors in plant medicine, but you may not hear about a professor in herbal medicine. But it's all about the same thing. And if 80% of the global population depend on plant medicine or herbal medicine, then it is important that if Professor and his colleagues are researching and creating innovative products, then we should be interested in supporting them. Because it's the research and development that creates innovative products. So that's why government is also interested. But it goes beyond that. Ghana produces only about 30% of our requirements for medicines and drugs. So we import almost 70% of our requirements, which is unacceptable. And so every effort made by entrepreneurs in Ghana to manufacture pharmaceutical products which will reduce our import bill, government will support those efforts. It also goes beyond reducing imports. A friend from the Plant Medicine Center was talking about the market value for pharmaceuticals peaking at 5 trillion by 2050. And what he's saying is not politics or cosmetics. It is true. And so if Ghana can focus on developing pharmaceutical products, including plant medical products, the potential for export is very significant. Even if we don't make 1%, and we make 0.0001% of it, it will help reduce our debt burden and help us earn foreign exchange, which is the only way we can support our currency. So that's also important for us as a government. He talked about revenue mobilization. Now, Professor is stretching our appetite for us to expect $32 billion when this new innovation comes onto the market. Prof, we are going to work with you on that. As a result of all the benefits that we can derive from the pharmaceutical industry, government is actively supporting companies to enhance their standards, quality standards, to WHO Global Manufacturing Practices Standard, so that they can export their products globally. So currently, there are 3 companies that are working with government to get to the level of WHO GMP standards. And I'm very hopeful that very soon, Kua Research and Manufacturing Company will also get into that category of companies that will reach WHO GMP standards. But why is it that in spite of all the benefits to be derived from herbal plant medicine, there is still that stigma associated with plants and herbal medicine? From what we have heard, there is absolutely no basis for that. But those of you in the herbal and plant medicine space, you have to make a contribution to reduce and eliminate that stigma. And you can only do that by following the example of Professor Samuel Africa, by actively working with regulatory agencies, opening up his manufacturing industry for scientific analysis. If you are keeping what you have close to your chest because you feel that it is dangerous to expose what you have, the knowledge you have, how do people then have the confidence in what you produce? And so, this is my challenge to you, those of you in the industry. It starts with the phytochemical and biochemical analysis of your products. It is not enough to say that it was passed on to you by your great grandfather. If you want it to become a mainstream product like Kua mixture, you have to be able to subject it to phytochemical and biochemical analysis. Secondly, you have to be prepared to subject it to therapeutic analysis. Because part of the challenge with herbal medicine is in respect of dosage. When people have to prescribe it, they have to prescribe dosage that is consistent with the analysis of the disease that has been identified. So that is also very important. The gentleman from the plant medicine center was talking about therapeutic analysis. You need that. But you also need to expose your process technology. If you are making a preparation and using it for a limited number of people, you may not necessarily be interested in process manufacturing technology. But if you want to do mass production, which is what is going to give you money and income, then you have to adopt the type of process technology that is safe, that is efficient, and effective. So there are many things that those of you in the plant medicine and herbal medicine community, there's work to be done. Let us confront that issue. But I'm very confident that with the leadership of Professor and many others, many unsung heroes all over the country who have not had the exposure to a country like Prof. Nasser, with the leadership of these individuals, the future is bright for herbal and plant medicine. So I would like, on behalf of His Excellency, the President, and on my own behalf, and on behalf of my ministry, to assure you, Professor, that we are solidly behind you. Whatever we need to do to make sure that we take Poor Mixture to global standards, will do the same. So God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can put your hands together for the Honorable Minister. From this particular program has been dear to his heart and demonstrate his servant leadership.
Yeah. So certainly now that we have the minister, and you know the minister, as it is, he has performed his duties and he may want to leave, but we want him to not just go with a message from Prof, but he has to go with a new branded bottle of Poor Mixture Reloaded, which is why we're going to have the presentation and relaunch at this very moment.
And to help us do that, we have no main person than the Atumfuo or say Tutu. Asantimandra. Nana Mensa Bonso. What's your name? Nana, yes, I said, sorry. Together with the Honorable Minister and the Board Chair, we unveil, and I might have a few words before the launch. So kindly allow Nana to come over. Okay. Nana is a young man. Put your hands together for Nana once again.
Well, you can do better with that round of applause. For Nana to come on the way.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from His Majesty Tunfo Dosage II. Tunfo would have wished to be here at the invitation of his friend and brother, Professor Samuel Atuda, at with the preceding rise towards Sundays was there. The others will be here. I will communicate the conferment of the patronage to him. I know Tunfo is solidly behind the core minister, that is the COA, DOB. And when last time I went to the coast and informed him about that, he wholeheartedly said, give them the land. I'm ready to help. So, as COA, DPM has acquired 1,000 acres of land in my area. We are working on that, and very soon things will start there. I think the others presented have said it all, and the minister also has supported, said that the government will support this initiative. Right? With the sustainable development goals, especially the development goal 3, which talks about the well-being of everybody. Plant medicine now is the way forward.
With your support, Professor and his team be able to lead the way forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nana. So we're now going to do the unveiling, and Nana will join Prof and Alan Sherman, the Minister, Alan Sherman, so that we do the unveiling. So as you can see, that's the bottle, right there, brand new bottle. You're going to be seeing it shortly. It's there in the corner. Keep your eyes on the prize, which is the bottle, Coa Mixture Reloaded, the medicine that works.
And Nana is known in private life as Professor Edward Page. He's a professor at the KNUST. Very learned man, of course, and supporting COA with 1,000 acres of land. It is there to be celebrated.
Yes, certainly. We thank you very much, Nana.
Let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Alaji Sule, the Alakan Zongochi. Welcome, Alaji. We have a team from Prudential Bank, or Doko here. Are they here? Prudential Bank. Thank you for coming. We have our official travel partners, My Travel and Tours.
All right, so just keep your eyes over here. Otherwise, you can also watch the LED screens that have been mounted as the unveiling happens. Yes, there you have it.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe it's beautiful. Take the pictures.
Thank you very much. So you would realize as the dignitaries move away that you can have a much better shot or view of the new Coa Mixture Reloaded, the medicine that works. There you have it. In all splendor. Improved Coa Mixture Reloaded, the medicine that works. I think we can all give a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Israel, I'd like to bring a little protocol.
All right.
By inviting the rep of the Ghana Medical Association here to tell us something quick. The rep of the Ghana Medical Association. Wow. The rep from the Ghana Medical Association, he has a message for us. Let's hear you.
All right, great. So now that you've had a good shot, can we all move away and get settled so that we have the speech from the rep of the Ghana Medical Association? He just had a short word, and then we can continue.
Nana Chairman, other revered traditional leaders here present, honorable ministers of state, the chief executive officer and board, and management of Core Research and Company Limited, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen of the media, I bring you greetings from the Fraternity of Doctors in Ghana, that's the Ghana Medical Association. My president, Dr. Frank Ankobia, had wished to be here, but he is in Geneva as we speak at the World Health Assembly. And instead, I am here with our executive member, female. She's joining me for us to just solidarize with you. I am Dr. Titus Deyo, the General Secretary of the Association, and joining me is Dr. Selom Kutrati, our executive member, female. And we bring you fraternal greetings. We wish to congratulate the board, management, and staff of Core Research and Manufacturing Company Limited for the launch or relaunch of Core Mixture and this beautiful thing that we have just witnessed. The Ghana Medical Association is happy to collaborate with all stakeholders to promote the health of all persons in Ghana, as this is one of our core philosophies. As Professor spoke, he talked about the gap between those of us who practice orthodox medicine and our contemporaries who practice alternative medicine. I should announce that the association and doctors in Ghana are happy to collaborate, to work together. And we welcome the efforts by Prof to help bridge that gap. The GMA is mindful of the fact that we are in an era of evidence-based medicine. And as we extend a hand of fellowship for us to collaborate to promote the health of Ghanaians, we wish to commend the efforts of Prof and his team for gathering scientific evidence to back the use of Core Mixture. In that same way, we commend you and your team for the scientific methods of production that gives confidence to consumers as well as prescribers. That said, we would say that Prof has set the pace, and we encourage other plant medicine or herbal medicine producers to follow or emulate these steps. It is the evidence we need. Once there is scientific evidence that it is useful, it is not harmful, why not? We are happy to use it. The Food and Drugs Authority is a very, very highly respected international regulator. And if you have the seal of the Food and Drugs Authority on the product, we have no basis to doubt that product. We will therefore urge that we all take what has taken place here very seriously. The submissions from the Honorable Minister talking about the processes that we must take our products through, the presentation earlier, and the submission by Prof himself. And once we fulfill all righteousness in the production of medications, we are very, very happy to use such products. And when these products, as has been announced, are added to the essential medicines list, why would anybody not want to use them? We are happy to prescribe a drug if you know the dose, if we are able to explain what our patients can expect when they take that drug. If we are able to answer questions on toxicity, we are happy to use that drug. So the perception that we are completely anti-alternative or herbal medication, I think is erroneous. But gather the evidence, and we are happy to work with you. On that note, we congratulate the team, and we wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Antiviral. So, as you heard him say, there's no conflict between the two. There's no conflict between alternative medicine or herbal medicine practitioners and the doctors as we have them. So we're very happy to hear that. And I believe we can give another resounding round of applause for that. So we have a few more presentations that are going to get us to appreciate what Koa Mixture Reloaded is all about. The next presentation is by Dr. Caleb Mauli, who is the Quality Assurance Manager at Koa. The quality management is going to be speaking on the quality management systems at Koa RMCL. A round of applause to him as he makes his way in.
Hello, yeah. So, all protocol observed. Thank you for those opportunities. I'm here to do a very simple presentation on all you need to know about Koa mixture. And as the director said, from the quality assurance unit of Koa research and manufacturing. And so this is the facility where Koa is produced, an aerial shot of the facility where Koa is produced. The minister talked about an attempt to get manufacturing industry to be WHO CGMP compliant. Koa has been working on that in collaboration with FDA. We have all the health and safety certificates. We are also working very hard to get ISO 9001 of 2015. Our facility is environmentally friendly. We dispose of our waste in an environmentally friendly manner. And we only use purified water in our production process. So Koa as a factory is fully CGMP compliant per FDA regulation. Now, the unique thing about Koa, as I said, is the production process. And that is how come you start off with green leaves but end up with something as fruity and aromatic as clear as water. If I ask you a simple question to tell me how herbal medicine is produced, I'm sure you will mention any of these methods here. Maceration, boiling, and the others. But now Koa is not produced through any of these methods. They are well advanced methods like supercritical carbon dioxide extraction, ultrasonic extraction, and microbial. Koa is not produced by any of these methods. And again, if I ask you, next slide, if I ask you for next slide, yeah, if I ask you for the solvents for production of herbal medicine, I'm sure you know about methanol, but Koa uses only water, so we don't have any other foreign material coming in. It's natural products and water that we use in our production. Next slide. So these are the ingredients. We have 6 azadirachta indica, which we call the Osimum nunum, spondias, what was the local name for spondias? Atwa, Benonia, bitter leaf, Persia American, not local pear, and Carica papaya, which is the pawpaw. These are the main. There's nothing hidden about it. All our ingredients are fully displayed. Now, the method of Koa production. To get a finished product of Koa, we use only fresh leaf. We receive the salt from the mill, and then we do the maturation. We only use fresh leaves. We don't use dried material. So when the material arrives, it goes through the cleaning process, then we use it. Then there is a unique extraction biotransformation process which gives us very consistent low molecular weight compounds, which we now go through the process to bottle. And when it is finished, after bottling, we quarantine. Quarantine is to keep it until we receive certified result from our accredited, FDA accredited laboratory to tell us that the product is safe for release. That is only when the product is ready to go. So Koa, after production, we keep it for almost a week to get certified result from our lab that it is okay for release before we let it go out. Now, to get from stage 1 to stage 5, we go through about 30 processes, record keeping, 30 production and general SOPs. And we also go through a couple of notebooks, about 21 general forms and then 42 logbooks. What this means is that any bottle of Kua you pick anywhere in the world, I can tell you by just looking at the batch number when the material arrived in the factory, the driver who brought it, even the car number who brought it, the registration number of the car, who did the washing, the starting of the process, who received it, who did the sorting, who did the washing, all the way to the one who even released it in the store. Every process is documented. That is the unique thing, that is traceability. So if anything comes out anyway, I can just by the batch number tell you where the problem is coming from and quickly solve that issue. This is one of the things that is unique to KUA. That's what the minister referred to in the CGMP World W2 certification. This is one of them. So KUA is almost there already. Now, what we've done with KUA is to look at the components of the product. And so what we did was to send a sample of the product to Ghana Standards Authority for us to use GCMS, gas chromatography, mass spec. This is a high grade equipment to tell us the components in there. So the next thing we send a sample to Standards Authority. Next slide, please. This is a sample of the graph. I know it reminds you of your SHS mathematics. If you don't want to, but this is just one of a sample of it. When you run the GCMS, you have over 160 hits. 160 hits means that the RT here refers to the retention time, the time the analyte is coming out. And we have over 160 of them. Each one corresponds to a compound that is in KUA. Please, you get it. So that was what we did. We did that, and we have over 160 of this. Next slide. Now, if you please go back to the previous slide, let me show something. Each retention time, each of the lines you see there represents a retention time. And if you, next slide, you translate that to the compound that it represents, you have all these compounds listed. So we have gone that far to look at the individual components in the product. And the next slide will even show you some of them. One of these is 1,6-octadiene-3-ol. That is one of the compounds in there. You can Google to find out what that compound does. The next one, strangely, in the list of the new compounds that come out, you find methyl-salicylate. What is methyl-salicylate? Aspirin. Aspirin is a natural compound. You will find something close to it in the mixture that we have. So KUA is a unique product in that it is loaded with so many bioactive compounds that benefit your body. That is how come its effect is general. It has a wide range of effects on your body. The next slide. So, in summary, if you look at all these compounds, we are looking at esters within the nature. You have short chain fatty acids. For those of you who are interested, you can read about short chain fatty acids and the role it plays in boosting your immune system. You have triterpene. This is the essential oils that I was referring to the medical herbalist. And then we have loads of organic acids in there. So all these things, when you take the dosage of KUA, you have all these compounds working together. The esters, the short chain, the triterpenes, and the sesquiterpenes, and the organic acids, all working together to help you handle the disease condition or even for your general well-being. Now, the unique thing about KUA's technology is that it can also be used to produce other compounds, other products, and one of them is what Rob was referring to as the potential to generate so much annually we can use to produce intravenous and intramuscular fluids. It can also be used for various other formulations, and even the recipe, we can use it for teas and capsules and ointments. So the technology of work is quite unique in several aspects. So we have done the report that Dr. Kofi Donko presented on the safety and the chronic toxicity. This is the certificate that was issued by MAPO to tell us that the product is safe for use. And this is what FDA wants to see before they certify your product. So we have already gone part of this one. Next, so based on that one, FDA granted us this certificate. So we have a certificate from FDA to proceed. Now, this is a unique product. This is the features of the product. We have the logo on the neck to. We have the logo on the neck to take care of limitations, like Bob said. People are going around in all sorts of inferior products. Then we also include the reductions. I must say that we should expect a new pack coming out very soon. And then, yeah, back to that one. We also have a barcode to also help deal with picking. Next slide. So these are the features of the product. We have, as I mentioned earlier, it's natural, 100% organic, with over 161 organic compounds, and it is colorless, glowing, and because of the esters, the chemical compounds that I mentioned earlier, they have fruity smell. So the product also has a fruity smell. We don't use preservatives. Koa doesn't have any other added ingredient apart from the 6 that we started. We don't add preservatives, we don't add anything to keep it. It's natural. Then it's also scientifically tested and it's safe. So in all that we've said is that it supports your general well-being and it is good for your immune system to deal with all. It supports the treatment of a wide range of conditions from bacterial infections, viral infections, deal with chronic conditions, and the animals. Well, dosage. I'll leave the dosage aspect, the next presentation to talk about the dosage in detail. The next slide, please. So we have future expansion plans, and the one coming up is the construction of a new $30 million facility that Bob announced some time ago. There's the plan to construct a new $30 million facility. And that is where the new product that Bob mentioned will be produced, and we are expecting that projected to give us $32 billion annually. So in conclusion, Koa is produced from a world-class facility. For those of you who have had the benefit of visiting us, you know the kind of facility we are talking about. It's one of a kind. It's the biggest industry in Central Region, and Koa, I can proudly say, is the biggest tobacco industry in Ghana or West Africa. The unique blend of extracts, 6 leaves to produce the product. It has no toxic effect, at least from the report that has been given to us over 6 months. 20 times the dosage over 6 months. You don't see any effect on the liver and the kidney, the 2 vital organs that we're looking at. Then we invested heavily on research and development, and we put the highest caliber of people to be in charge of the production process. And it is a potent immune booster, and it's good for general organ for treatment, support the treatment of cancers, HIV, hepatitis. When you are on your medication, you don't go off it, you just add Koa to support it. That is what we are saying. So thanks for your time, and if you have any questions, you can talk about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So we're going to take the next presentation. And as you heard Dr. Kalimali indicate, the bit about dosage is going to be taken care of now, and it's going to be by Mr. Francisco Bain Brainer, who is the quality control manager at Goa RMCL. He's soon going to be speaking about the unique features of registration and dosage regimen of Goa mixture. Round of applause to him as he also makes his very well.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the anticipated audience. I'll speak about what Israel talked about. Next slide, please. This is the home of the Core RMCL, which my colleague has talked about. But let's critically look at what is down there. Orthodox or conventional medicines are doing very well, but most of them, the sole aim is to minimize the disease and bring to a standard where treatment is achieved. But you can see clearly that the use of plant medicine is equally important, since these conventional medicines come with a lot of, I should say, side effects. And this is very important. People are wondering the core FS and then the core mixture, what are the differences? Still, people call it core FS. There is no major change. The only thing is the branding and an upgrade in drug development. Now, after what we went through with the Food and Drugs Authority, the drug was updated from a food supplement onto a herbal medicine for general well-being. So the next one, you see, these are unique features Doc has talked about already. What wasn't on Doc's part was the second point that tells us the drug is able to penetrate the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier is in the brain and is a selective membrane that do not allow all medicines to cross. So if you have any medication that can cross this barrier, then it's a plus for you. One has gotten there long ago. A study that revealed that will be presented by the next speaker, so I will not waste much time on that. And in the morning, I was telling the medical herbalist the last point, because the product elicits immune response. That's why we call it the immune system booster. And when you have immune reconstitution, a lot of these side effects will come up. But currently, there are no known side effects. Most at times, you record headaches and then but all these are supposed to resolve in some few hours. Doc has talked about this one through the West African pharmacopoeia. You can see there are 6 ingredients there, and each of them have unique phytochemical that they present. Next slide, please. So these are some of the crude phytos that are from the 6 classes, chiefly from the spontaneous morbid, which is one of the major leaves we use in our production. Next one, please. So you can see this has been used on several diseases. If you go to the treatment column, across the West African countries, the leaves that I mentioned earlier has been used in a lot of treatment. So we go on, I'll come back to that to explain that for the next slide, please. There are nutrients in the leaves we use for production. And then some of the nutrients are listed there. Specifically, this work is also done by the next presenters, and they will give you more information about what they found. Next one, please. So, novel physical, bio, and chemical properties. Doc has talked about all this. And then I will base the dosage on the last point, which is over 161 volatile organic compounds being identified, wide range of synergy. Next slide. This one to Dr. Kofi Donkor did justice about that. I'm reviewing all these because I'm going to base the dosage on all these slides. So what you need to know from the chronic toxicity testing, Doc revealed clearly that is hepatoactive and then protective as well. He indicated clearly that part of the liver are revived when they administered this consistently for 12 months. Next slide. This one too is on the heart muscles, that is the cardiac muscles. It didn't show any toxic effect on it. Take note of the dosage. 10 times therapeutic dose and 20 times therapeutic dose. I'll come over when I get to the dosage. Okay, next slide. All these are showing how the product, even when consistently used for a period of 12 months, does not have any lethal effect or deleterious effect on any of the internal organs. And from the GMA, this is a plus on the product. So because that is what they are looking for before they can prescribe to people to use. The next one, please. So our drug is certified facility in the country. We are listed on the essential herbal medicine list. This also means if you walk into any of the health facilities that have piloted the herbal medicine practice, you can choose to visit them and then it can be prescribed comfortably for you without any legal action. Next one. This is the reason why I'm here. Most times, most people do not get the desired effect of the product. This is actually the medicine that works. The medicine that works because if you go back and look at all the presentations and the slides I've shown you earlier on, it shows clearly that it can tackle a lot of things. Either you are using it in synergy with other products or you are using them alone for your general well-being. The most unique thing about this product is you do not need to be sick before you take it. Why? Because it's an immune booster. It works on the immune system, and when the immune system is well sensitized, then you have no cause of worry to think about getting sick any moment. Now, for a general well-being, all you need is a 10 ml of qua mixture, 250 ml of a bit, let me use the word, a bit hot water. And Doc explained clearly, the reason why you are using the hot, a bit hot or the warm water is for reactivation. One, reactivation. Two, facilitate absorption in the GIT. For your general well-being, you do not need much. You need just 10 ml twice daily, and perfectly it will do the work you design for you. This morning we took time to explain why when you mix the mixture, the 10 ml qua to the 50 ml water, you need to drink immediately. You want to ensure that the external reactivation does not make you lose any of these volatile compounds we have talked about. How many of them are identified so far? I've talked about 161. So this should tell you why is able to work on diverse defects. Even one compound identified has over 1,000 cases it can handle. So if you have 161, then basically you reduce it to even 100 cases per compound. How many cases are we looking at? So getting to understand it is very vital for you to get the desired effect of the product. And then the next one, when you want to use the product to support any treatment, this must be critically noted. You need to double the dosage. Why? Because we want to ensure that within the 12 hours before you repeat the dose, at least these compounds are still there that you need to replenish for you to get the desired activity you want the product to do. Back to the slide from the chronic toxicity testing. How many times the therapeutic dose doesn't have a lethal effect? They did it 10 times, they multiply or increase it to 20 times, and still no lethal effect. This means that as a medical practitioner or a prescriber, if you have a case that is very severe, you can vary the dose. Please, do you see what I'm seeing on that slide? You can vary the dose as many times as you want to use, depending on the severity of the case you are handling. Okay, next slide, please. So I've talked about this already, and I think I'll finish now. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Francis. We have some of our major distributors here. Mrs. Gertrude and the husband, Nano, you are here. Thank you very much for coming, Akbaba. We have a strong team from Republic Bank, Ghana, Winneba branch, and of course, some from the regional office here in Accra, Mr. Dan Moheno and Abdul Jana Atulo from the commercial and retail side. Are you here? Republic Bank. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, so as the ladder goes on with the introductions, I also have my own acknowledgements. Akrobat is still around, Akrobat. As I told you, I'll be taking the photo with you. I'll show you the 20 safer. We're going gradually getting to the climax of the presentations. There are two other presentations that will be coming. The last two, we'll be having them together. But right now, let's get ready and welcome Professor Augustine Oklu. He's the Dean of the School of Biological Sciences at the University of Ghana. And he is going to be speaking on a retrospective study on the effects of poor FS and a herbal immune booster, HIV, and hepatitis B infected individuals. A round of applause to him again.
All right, thank you very much. I think one important thing that coronavirus did to the world is that it has succeeded in making viruses very popular. So now I'm very sure when you ask even a 7-year-old, he or she will tell you, I know about viruses. Viruses are with us if you research for all this while. And we know that they cause some critical conditions. And we need to find a solution to viruses. Somewhere, I think this week or last week, we started getting monkeypox virus. So these are very small, tiny organisms, but they actually challenge our existence as human beings. So what I'm presenting to you is a small study that we did on poor. We call it retrospective because we look at data on people who are using the product. So you can go back as in science, you can go back and see how those using the product, how they affect, or what is the product doing to them. So this is a retrospective study on those with HIV and the P who use COA visa. So I've mentioned already what viruses are, and the situation with finding solutions to viral conditions. We know that for the P, we have vaccine. For HIV, we don't have vaccine. We only have antiviral medicines. Proceed. So herbal medicine, as we know, has helped the world since before Christ and still helping the world. If you look at the last point, even today, over 252 drugs that medical doctors use have some foundation from herbal medicine, including the anti-malaria that we use, the Coartem, the rest. They all come from the okay, so Paul has talked about, they show you how it's produced from some advanced technology. You're able to get a product from health that looks like water, and that's quite impressive. So the objective here that we looked at is to see how with these two conditions using POA, how they are varying, and whether POA is a possible solution for the management of HIV and B. So the methodology, we screened 150 folders from patients with the hope that at least we have people who have two results. So before they start POA, they have a viral result, and then after a period, they also have another viral result. So those are what we are looking at, because that's what we remember to know how they are faring as they use the medication. So out of the 150, we found 74 patients that have data that we can use for HIV, and then 13 for FP. And then the age is between 12 and 60 years. So for HIV, we found duration, some use it for 1 month, and some have it for 3 months. The table shows you the various proportions. Okay, so this is the viral load that we found before it went on the POA booster, and then after we analyzed the results. So before you see that the viral load is high, and then when we analyze the results, some after 1 month, 2 months, we found a decrease. But this decrease is not statistically, scientifically. But we found that the medicine is helping daily growth. So this another one significant decrease in patients who are used. So as I told you, some are used for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So we look at those who are used for at least 3 months. And again, you see a decrease in value. Then we look at those who are used for at least 6 months. Again, we see a decrease, but not significant. So in all, we just look at the data as a whole to see what is happening to the individual. So you see that out of the 74, some experience decrease, or some experience decrease. So the individuals are responding to this different. So out of the 44 that experience decrease, these are what we find, or what we found. You see that some the decrease does about 3%, some 40%, and then you have about 40% of them that have a decrease of more than 80%. Then, in the 74, we look at those who are actually benefiting. So, 19 of them seem to be having a very good. Here, you see a statistical significant decrease in viral load in 19 individuals. The P, duration of use among the individuals is just from 1 to 10 months. For the B, you see significant decrease, statistical significant decrease in the DNA in this patient. You have to give her a So this is not what we are seeing is not strange because we talked about herbal medicine that is and I've just shown you some of the ingredients poor and their antiviral properties. So as a result, have activity against dengue fever, virus, fire, activity against dengue fever. It's not strange that you see some activity. And that's so in summary, what we can say is that goers seem to have a positive effect in individuals who are in diabetes and have also those who have psychosis, significant increase in some of them. Before I begin with my last slide, let me just say that we actually also did some individual massive work on the coronavirus. The last day, not the actual virus. And again, we found some things, not significant, but we found some.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Prof. So we have two more presentations. There is a final. The two of them are going to come together. But before I actually get them to come on board, I want to invite my friend, the legendary acrobat, to come on stage and join me. I have a few questions for him. Because, as you can see, he's someone who has been in this business for a very long time. We all know him. We all know Robert Tudontu. Oh, you don't know him? You know, oh, I need a microphone. Make sure the microphone is working.
Hello.
Oh. I'm about to. It's who said,
Why actually? Yeah. And here there was secret. Yeah. In English or two.
In English, because we are international broadcaster.
The secret is the humbleness, the truthfulness, and the respect. Do you understand? The humbleness, our blessing. Oh, okay. The truthfulness, the prayer. I see, and the respect, Ubu. Okay, now you are satisfied.
But they will say, viral. Not just say, I could change you, be a come once. And again, is yes, and I said, and bad son. She said, how do you see it?
Oh, I see it as a seed. Because these are, everything is determination. I'll take Prof.
Yeah.
To be example. Okay. Yeah. Prof is a Ghanaian. Sam is a Ghanaian. And how he make his money, you make this co-op. Very, very challenges. But the man stood on his feet. And a time ago he called me. That Mr. Promoter. I want you to make advert for me. And I told him, the person in the problems, the person who is climbing a good tree is always pushing. The person who is climbing a good tree is pushing.
the prof is climbing a good tree. So I'll use my talent, how people love me, to push it. So I push it. And I'm still pushing him. And I'll push him on the top of that.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So I recall, he's a legend. I recall one time there was all this talk about, they interviewed me on radio and they asked me that where did I get my name Bobby from? And then there were some people who were saying that is because I like Bobby. And Akrobetu came to my rescue. On his program, Akrobetu Wokai.
Yes, I remember.
On his program, he said, after saying everything else, he said, everybody like this. That was how he rescued me. All right, so we have the final set of presentations, and it's going to be by Dr. Akwesi Gwedu. That's almost sounding like Akrobetu's name. Is that you, Akrobetu? Dr. Akwesi Gwedu. So he's a researcher at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. And we also have presentation by Professor Manimbolo Imloto. He's a professor and researcher at the University of Limpopo, South Africa. They're going to do the presentations together. A round of applause to them.
We are going to talk about what is done in the relationship with COA FS in South Africa. Just as a reminder, there was the study started in South Africa in 2015. It was not like a thing of yesterday. But unfortunately, we didn't have at the time all the names of the COA, what came, what was it used at the time. But we tried to do some sort of observational studies. Among few patients who are using it in association with their prescribed medicine. So the sample that we had at the time was really very, very small. We couldn't really go and boost outside to say that from the sample size that we had, look at this and look at that and people take you in a very, very serious way. We said no. We needed actually to go a little bit deeper. So that's why we discussed with Prof. Duncan that we needed first to know what were the ingredients that were in the COA FS at the time. And when we got this information, we said, can we please try first to compare what is in the COA and what is in the plants that are claimed to be part of COA. So you see, the first presentation, the first publication. So the first, okay, we looked at the we made a comparison of the phytochemical composition of COA with the group-leaf extract of the pneumonia as well as the Cassia americana. What was collected in the area where the COA was manufactured. So we said, okay, let us look, is there any similarity in between what the plant is and what the COA mixture is? So if you go through the work, you will see that there is even the GPS coordinate where the plants were collected indicate. So that's what we said, you know, the composition may vary from one site to the other. So we said, let us make sure that we collect those plants from an area where the COA is being manufactured. So this was the first feedback that was published. Yes, and a question we talk about, we go through this and then we go to the one and the last thing. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observers. Michacha, but I think you will understand. Okay. The program director took words out of my mouth. What is the basic Roberto? But I have full call. I know him by the name Who Knows Tomorrow. There was a time when somebody approached me and said, "Is that your father? Look at your nose." And there in South Africa, they don't know the difference between Kweki and Kweku. So, that's you. That's you. So, maybe we are related. Who knows tomorrow? Right. From the work that I did, we compared the COA herbal medicine, all the phytochemicals in the COA herbal medicine, with the individual plants that were used in the production of COA herbal medicine. We then please put the next slide. I don't talk about all this because it has been spoken about already. And the collection and the rest, can please put the next slide. Thank you. Comparatively, we looked at Begonia amygdalina, that is your vitamin. We then also looked at your pawpaw. We then looked at all the other. We then looked at all the other leaves that were used. We found out that there were 180 chemicals or phytochemicals that were found in the DCM or in the entire solvent. And out of that, 52%, that is 94 chemical compounds were available in Begonia amygdalina. And only 45 compounds, that's 25%, were available in the Begonia amygdalina that was obtained from South Africa. This means that when we compared COA and the plant, we took that one from South Africa and that one from Ghana. We found out that 94 of the chemicals out of 180 that were used in POA were similar. Therefore, it means that the plant actually came from Ghana. We were comparing location, phytochemicals, and all that. Please move to the next slide. These findings may suggest that geographical location and climatic conditions may influence chemical composition of medicinal plants. As we saw earlier, we then realized that due to the geographical location, there were differences in the percentage composition. And please go to the next slide. Okay. All right. These ones have been talked about. Then move on to the next slide. All right. The findings of this study confirm the presence of Persea americana and Bennonia amygdalina extract as part of the composition of POA herbal medicine. It also confirms the profound variation in phytochemicals of the two plants or leaf extracts due to their environmental factors or geographical location. Let's move on to the next slide. From our research, we found out that there were 6 plants, and one of them was also Spongias monge, which is called Atwan in our language. Therefore, we decided to focus on Spongias monge because we found some antiviral properties that were very important. This paper has been published in the African Journal of Biomedical Sciences. Those of you who want to Google, you can find it. But in our review, we found out that Spongias monge has got a lot of medicinal properties. Let's move on to the next slide. This is one of the crucial ones that we did recently. The phytochemical compound extracted from leaf extract of Spongias monge has potential lead against SARS-CoV-2. That is our current COVID-19. We then analyzed and realized that geranium, as one of the previous researchers said, geranium is a compound which has got antiviral properties, and it is one of the leading compounds in Spongias monge. And therefore, we then did an in silico study on all the compounds found in Spongias monge. Now, before we go to that, we need to look at how to discover medicines or drugs. We look at the drug discovery. We need to start from in silico study, go to your in vitro, in vivo, then go to your clinical study. So we then found that basically or prominently geranium was prominent or is a candidate, a potential candidate in the treatment, or let's say in the binding to SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, RDD, and the rest. Therefore, we realize that geranium is an important chemical that can be repurposed in the treatment or in the management of SARS-CoV-2. Although some of you who are learned here might know that the molecular mass of geranium is too huge, and therefore it does not obey the pinkish rule. That is, every molecule that needs to be absorbed is supposed to be less than, a molecular mass of less than 500. that this is about 800. But what we then also found out in our pharmacophore, please go to the next slide, in our pharmacophore was that geranium is easily absorbed when it is broken down, and therefore it can be broken down into simpler, smaller ones. In our pharmacophore, found out that the compound that were obtained was much less. That is the one that was active in binding the SARS-CoV-2. So we went on to then project that also on Ebola. And we found out that it was very active in Ebola. From Professor Duncan's speech that he made, I then gathered that he also treated Ebola with COA. This confirms, although I didn't know, but this confirms that yes, COA can be used to rid the boss or as a treatment for Ebola or maybe SARS-CoV-2. We please go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay. Please go back. Yes, I think there are some slides that are missing. All right, there are slides that are missing. But what we have also done is that we've done an in vitro SARS-CoV-2 that will be published very soon. Very interesting. We have done work on Marburg virus that also shows that fragments of the RNA were active on Marburg virus. All right. Okay, thank you. It's fine. Technical errors. All what we are saying is that spongious fungi, which is one of the ingredients, or which is one of the leaves that were used in COA, has got antiviral properties. And these antiviral properties have been researched, and we've seen that they are active against COVID-19, they are active against Marburg virus, and it is also active against Ebola virus. We have also done an in vitro work on SARS-CoV-2, and then there is another work that we are doing on monkey pox. Thank you.
Request for researchers that are in the venue here. Research works well when people work in collaboration. And I think that the presentation that on the viral loads, we've been requesting data from Ghana, let me say it here, so that maybe everyone can hear us. Then we can also look from our own point of view. We exposed here what we published. We willing to collaborate with whoever is here. To avail the data, then we can all work together and come out with a true publication. That's how science is. I believe that we all heard here that we need to prove that COA is working. We can only prove that if we put all our hands together and work as a team. That's how we can improve the situation and get all the needed information for all the authorities, be it here in Ghana or outside Ghana, and be in other African countries, or European countries, American countries. When the research is robust, then you demonstrate that community have been involved, it gives weight to what we do. So we are expecting that we may engage further on clinical studies that are actually missing at this stage. So I'm talking to COA publicly here, manufacturer, those who support COA, that let us put efforts together so that we may have more clinical studies to support all the chemistry or all the toxicity studies that have been demonstrated here. Today we heard that COA has been listed on the list of essential medicine list. Okay. Okay, sorry. It has been listed on the list here in Ghana. That means what? From a pharmacologist point of view, we are going to go to stage 4 of research. The first presenter talked about phase 1. Those are the toxicity, your safety studies. And all the other studies, they came between that phase 1 and phase 4. So where we are today, your country has accepted that this product can be on the market. That means that we need actually to know what are the outcomes, what are the clinical implications to have this product on the list. That means that we need to go and engage with more robust clinical studies. And here is where actually we need to work together and come up with new findings. It will be better that the next time that we meet again, we talk as a team. Maybe you have 5 or 6 people presenting each one, bringing one aspect, and like fighting for a piece of the cake. That is my take. Mr. Atlas, if you have something to say.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. and Doc. A round of applause to the way. So yes, we're hopeful the next time we meet here, we would have seen some progress. There are just a few organizations here who would like to give us solidarity messages. And so I'm inviting them to get here. We've heard from the Ghana Medical Association already. So let's hear from the Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists. We have the representative here. That's the basis where I'd like to acknowledge one more person, Albert Pavnachumfo, who is the National Organizing Secretary of the Ghana Journalists Association. Albert, where are you? And who is also aspiring to be the GJA president. So, Albert, all the best. I wish you all the best in your endeavor.
Hello. Good afternoon. I'll just be told that we should do this in just about a minute. And so, with the permission of Prof. Duncan, I would want to start on the beautiful protocols that you observed when you mounted the pulpit and say that we bring greetings from the Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists. We've heard a lot of presentations, particularly from researchers who have told us the beautiful things that have happened as far as research and manufacturing of COA is concerned. And we also heard from our brothers and colleagues in Ghana Medical Association. So the question is, what then is the medical herbalist, or who is the medical herbalist? That's in a minute. You know that over the years, we heard from the Center for Plant Medicine Research, established way back in 1975, to, as a statutory body, engage in research into herbal medicines. A lot of steps have been taken, but there was one particular key that was missing, and that is where the Department of Medical Science and Technology came in to train medical herbalists, who are the doctors who will be able to understand all the research works that have been done the phytochemical analysis and all what the ingredients are, and what happens at the stage of the clinic or the hospitals. We just heard Professor Maningolu say that the next stage is the phase 4, where we are to build clinical data from what happens to the patient or to the client who takes COA mixture in terms of the clinical outcomes. Are there any side effects? Are there any adverse drug reactions you are supposed to take note of? What are the successes in terms of the clinical outcomes? And that is where medical herbalists come in. Currently, as we speak, medical herbalists are available in government hospitals and in private hospitals, and we are proud to say that we are available and ready to work together with COA to make the next phase of research into herbal medicines a reality. So, on that note, having duly observed all the protocols, I can see so many people here. Our old Madam, the Director for TAMD is here, my Professor, the Head of Department, and all the others. We want to say a very big thank you to COA for what they have done, and we look forward to working with you to make the research work even better. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. One final solidarity message this time from the Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners. Round of applause as we welcome them. We also give Thursday the message, solidarity message, in just under a minute.
Just under a minute. Nietzsche, I think I'm the only one who has said me. I'm told just under a minute. So, and to show off to you that I can read without glasses, because of the traditional glasses, I'm going to read. In Ghana, the government reimburses patients' consultation for traditional health practitioners through an insurance scheme, and is planning to do the same for the herbal medicines in the national essential herbal medicines. This is to ensure increased access and affordability to health services. In about 50 districts, hospitals in Ghana, we have traditional as well as conventional medications being dispensed at the pharmacy department. Professor Samuel Atukanka, in his quest to elevate herbal medicine in Ghana through his groundbreaking research, has therefore developed products which are indicated for rural welfare. Hence, it can be taken with or not. It is also being used as an adjuvant for managing and treating many chronic infections and cancerous diseases. This was confirmed by School of Pharmacy at Zulu Natal University, South Africa, after identifying 161 organic compounds containing COA mixture. The caption therefore calls on the government to expedite actions on herbal medicine related issues so as to facilitate herbal medicine development in Ghana and beyond. Again, is ever ready to team up with researchers, universities, institutions, direct government in facilitating traditional medicine development in Ghana. Already, Ghana is known as the China of Africa, as far as development of traditional medicine is concerned. But to keep the pace, it has become imperative for the government to establish traditional medicine development fund. This will cater for all the research required for the development of the numerous herbal and traditional medicines practitioners in Ghana are down. So I go Professor Samuel Chigagan and Coa Research Factory. Long live Coa, long live Ghana. Long live.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I had indicated that that was going to be our last solidarity message, but I've been told that we have to take two more. Hopefully, we can get them in under a minute. I would like to bring up here Dr. Imoro Faisal of the Kumasi South Hospital. A round of applause to him. And to the GATRAM rep who just spoke, the shade is well noted. You have to make sure that you let everybody else know that I use glasses to read.